Shalom.
Shalom.
Hey, first and foremost, we'd like to say Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Green Millstone, and also salutations to the sincere Akiam worldwide pushing this truth and sincerity. Some of the brothers from the GMS London camp, and we're just quickly doing a quick sit down, just really on the hell that brothers are catching out here about the importance of perseverance. Because at the end of the day, no matter what fuckery we're confronted with, we just got to bear the indignation of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. The scripture talks about Romans 13 not fighting or resisting against the higher power, which basically means that the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, carnally, as unfortunate as it is, has got this so-called white man Esau Edom ruling over the planet Earth right now. He's got brothers in straits, brothers are going through hell, but at the end of the day, we got to go through this hell in order to gain, really and truly, to bear our cross as Yahweh Shai instructed us to, and to get our right into the kingdom. So let's just get the scriptures flowing and we'll see where we go from there.
This is Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction.
Go on, bro.
Yeah, man. Hey, and they're saying our rest, man. You know, Arkim can attest to that in many different with many different examples, right? You know, but it's, you know, this world is stressful, right? There are things you can't do anything without, you know, you ending up stressed or pissed off, or a combination of all of them. When it says because it is polluted, you know, that's the philosophies that are upheld in this kingdom. The adultery, which is a big one, right? Like you had this rugby union player over there in Australia who said stuff about gays, and he also said stuff about adulterers, etc., etc., etc. And they only spoke about the gays. But then if you consider the adulterers, the majority of these people in the world are serial adulterers, man. They don't care if anyone's got a man. Right, but that's one of the pollutions, right? And it says it shall destroy, because what happens with the children of Israel when they're around these heathens? But whenever Israel's around these heathens, they pick up the ways of the heathens, man. They start doing what they do. They start basically they become like the heathens.
Conforming.
Man. They conform, yeah. So why Jake now are faggots like no one's business, man. Right? Jake be all fruity and all nasty, man.
That's right, man. Hey, because I got this real quick. This is the book of Baruch, the 4th chapter. I'm going to start from verse 25. It says, my children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, for thine enemy have persecuted thee. But shortly thou shalt see his destruction and shalt tread upon his neck. Now, it's evident that Esau is carnally fucking with Jake, man. Jake have been getting gunned down by the police. Jake have been getting killed by the masses, man. And Esau really and truly just looks at it and mocks Jake, man, laughs at it. But also, even deeper than that, like we went into a camp a couple weeks ago, Esau's got a psyop against Jake, where literally everything is a psychological experiment on how you can fuck Jake up, whether it be that so-called black culture, which is really introduced by Esau Edom. You got the new Black Panthers right now, which is a major thing in Babylon right now. A lot of Jakes are trying to take this so-called activism into their own hands and trying to ride up against Esau. There was even a video where you had about 5 of those niggas. They were walking through the streets with AK-47s like Esau ain't got biological weapons and bombs I mean, Esau ain't got to fire a bullet to kill you. The thing with you Jakes is that you buy your weapons from the devil and you're going to try and defeat him with his own weapon. What you got to understand is this man is the man of Cain, man. And Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai put that mark on Cain. And also, he said, hey, whoever slave Cain, man, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. What you got to understand is that it's not your place. The Lord says, suffer patiently, man. The wrath that has come upon you from, and it said who it came from. It says Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, because hey, the Lord said in Amos the 3rd chapter that, you know, he delivered us into the hands of the heathen for our disobedience. There's another scripture that reads, who sold Israel to the robbers? You know, was it not Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai? And rightfully so. Slavery, as much of a hellhole as it was for us, it was justified, because ultimately speaking, our people went heavy the hell off against Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, so he judged us accordingly, man. You know.
Yep. Hey, because you said it says there suffer patiently, right? It says GMSFAQ 2:14. Woe unto you that have lost patience.
That's right. That's right.
And what will ye do when Yahweh shall visit you? Right, hey man, this is the thing about patience. You read Matthew 24:13. Let me see if that's correct real quick.
That's right. No, but patience is a major ingredient in this thing, man.
Yep.
Because trust me, man, this is hell, man.
Yep.
It's hell, and the thing is, it's hell to the carnal flesh, but in the spirit, we're being made better.
Exactly. This is Matthew 24:13. But he that shall endure, I have patience, that shall go through tribulation unto the end, the same shall be saved. Right. So it's all about enduring and having patience, man, and suffering patiently for all the things that are that we get given to deal with.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Yahweh Shai is gonna give those crowns unto those men, man, that suffer that patience, man. Hey, we might as well grab Revelations 3:10, man. I love that scripture, man. Revelations 3:10. You got Revelations 2:25. Isaiah 45:17. What you gotta understand is Israel's going to be beautified, man, and it's all gonna be through the will and power of Yahweh Shai. And you gotta have faith in that. If the Lord could raise up this damn devil Esau, Edom, the basis of men, of course he's gonna be able to bring back his children, man. Brother, shall I bring that up, bro?
So Revelations 3:10 says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation.
Hey, so the word of Yahweh Shai is patience, man. The spirit of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. So the primary thing we got to be out here doing is prophesying, man, teaching our people the way. But then as well as that, you also have to then have the temperament to be able to move in the society. You got to be able to maneuver and be able to support the body, be your own man. There's a lot more than just being an Israelite than just going outside on a Saturday and calling the so-called white man the devil, man. What you got to understand is that you got to literally walk the path, man. Yahweh Shai bared his cross. Part of bearing his cross was literally he didn't sin, man, and he lived in a society full of wicked ass niggas. He was living in a real world where you had a fleshly mother and father, siblings, friends, that would have been in the world, his apostles, but he still maintained, man, a job. Probably, well, his job was being a prophet, but he would, like his apostles that have been working, doing certain things to make money. They had to trade certain items. They would have had to eat. So at the end of the day, what I'm getting at is, hey, man, daily bread. But Yahweh Shai said, going back into the book of Genesis, man, with Adam and Eve, man, that by the sweat of our brow, man, we eat. So, you get brothers that will get sometimes a bit down and disheartened, but hey, you got to understand that really this is a prison sentence that we're serving, and it's rightful. You can't just turn to the Lord and say, nah, man, I want that time halved on good behavior. Like, what you got to understand is that the Lord has prophesied we got to go through this judgment, but afterwards we're going to be blessed, man, and exalted. Go on, bro.
This is Acts 14:22, right? It says, and confirming the souls of the disciples.
That's right.
And exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of the Most High.
That's right. I like to always go back into the fact that the 12, man, all of them were killed, and John the Revelator died of as a captive on the Isle of Patmos. It was. So what you gotta understand is, all of the men of the Lord went through hell, man. They threw Jeremiah in a pit, man. You had prophets that were sawn in half. You had Daniel that was thrown into a den of lions. You got Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, the 7 children and their mother. What you got to understand is that the people of the Lord were never liked, because Israel's always had that spirit of conforming. When Jeremiah came to Israel, they said, listen, Jeremiah, we don't want to hear what you got to say. We've been burning incense to the Queen of Heaven for generations, and we've had no problems. When Moses led them out and they were getting chased by Pharaoh's forces, they said to Moses, you let us out here because there weren't no coffins in enough burial graves in Egypt. You let us out here in the wilderness to die. Israel's always got that spirit of, they just want everything given to them. Yeah. That's why there's a saying in the world, if you want to hide anything from a nigger, put it in a book. Yeah. Because niggas don't like toil. Niggas don't like no sort of hard work. Niggas don't even like to work, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, they just think that the first thing they do when they run into some trouble is look for Esau for answers, man. Look for that universal credit. What you gotta understand is there's a time coming when there's not only gonna be a famine of the word, there's gonna be a literal famine out here, man. And the men of the Lord that have been fervent, man, going out there week in, week out, surviving the hell that we go through, striving for the Lord, man, are gonna be blessed, man, and strengthened in that day. You wanna say something?
Hey, look, you're saying that Israel don't like, our people don't like the difficult path. And to be fair, no one likes the difficult path, which is why it's a glory unto the Lord that we do this work, right? But it was something Elder Ariala said, and it hit me when he said it. There are things, obviously you know them, right? But when you hear them again, right, you're like, oh shit, right? And he, the elder was like, what did he say? He said, saying that, oh yeah, we don't have to do this work. We get to do this work. right? Because it's an honor that we do what it is that we do,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's an honor that the Lord, and when you actually, Spirit had me do a video on it, you read all the scriptures where the Lord's basically saying, look, from the foundation of the earth, I have chosen you.
Precept, quick one.
Come.
John 15:16, you have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever you shall ask of my Father in my name, he may give it to you.
Yeah, that's right. So Lord, they're saying, look, man, I chose you. You get these Christians that say, I love the Lord. I chose when I let Jesus Christ into my life.
Yeah, cool.
Right? They love saying stuff like that. But look, man, if you're saying Jesus Christ, then you don't know the Lord.
That's right.
But the Lord hasn't chosen you.
That's right.
Right? But here it is. The Lord has actually chosen us from the world. Right, and when you deep it, it's really from the beginning of time, right? Because the prophets have been out there from days of old,
And the spirit of the prophets is subject to the prophets.
spirit of the prophets is subject to the prophets. That's right, right. So if you're doing this work, then it's a beautiful thing, right? But then our people don't like to labor.
Mm-hmm.
They like things being, and the thing is, when there's truth, you may die for this truth, right? But I've got this real quick. You got anything?
No.
But it says, Wisdom 3, it says, but the souls of the righteous are in the hand of the Most High, and they shall no torment touch them.
Mm-hmm.
In the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery, and they're going from us to be utter destruction, but they are in peace, right? For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is there a hope full of immortality.
That's right.
Right? And why is it? You read 1 Thessalonians, the 4th chapter, 16th, 17th verse, where it speaks about how the dead in Yahweh shall rise first. Right? Scripture says also the precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of the saints.
That's right.
Right?
The Lord said he rebuked kings for our sakes, man. Look at Pharaoh, look at Nebuchadnezzar, look at when Abraham went up in there, man, and the Lord plagued, and the Lord fucked with the Pharaoh, man, and he said, listen, you gotta let Abraham go with his wife and give him additional substance to go, man. Look at Babylon, look at all of the kingdoms, man, that we've been under. The Lord Jehovah Shemi Shai always had Israel's back, and that's the way it's going to remain, man. Because the Lord's treasure is Israel, man.
Yeah, that's right. And it goes on to say, and having been a little chastised, and hey, since it said little, I must needs get this, because ultimately, everything that we're suffering is, as the scripture says, I'm about to read, a light affliction.
That's right.
Right, it's in 2 Corinthians 4 and 17, 2 Corinthians 4:17. For our light affliction, right, which is but for a moment.
Yeah.
Right, that's the thing. During the time, it feels like the longest thing ever, right? But just, as the scripture says, it's but for a moment.
That's
You
right.
contrast that.
That's right.
Obviously, it ain't gonna happen. But let's say Esau kept ruling for another 1,000,000 years.
Oh, way.
A 1,000,000 years is still nothing
To
in
eternity.
contrast to eternity.
That's right. Oh.
Right?
Oh.
And obviously we know, because obviously that's an example. I'm exaggerating.
Okay.
Right, so for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory.
That's right, man. A kingdom that shall never end, man. And that's what we're waiting upon. Hence why we got to go through these trials and tribulations in order to get the full 360. You got to go through the unrighteousness in order to appreciate the righteousness, man. And Yahweh Shemi Shai, really and truly, man, through the hands of this damn devil, is giving us a perfect example of that. So what this video is to do is to exhort brothers in the spirit of don't be in that down in the dump spirit, because at the end of the day, we've been put here for a purpose, which is to prophesy. It's a beautiful thing that we know that this truth. There's a saying in the world that ignorance is bliss, because these Jacob out here, they're just like sheep, not even knowing the destruction that's coming to their doorstep, man. But we have the knowledge, man, which although and to the carnal flesh is a burden, to the spirit it's a blessing, man.
Yep.
That's why when you go to camp, I can speak for myself, and I'm sure the brother as well. You feel like a dead battery in the world, and you go to charge your camp and you get that full recharge. You know what I mean? And then you come back out in the world, you battle it, and you get that recharge again the next Saturday. Go on, bro.
On what you said, because the guys say wisdom, ignorance is bliss. This is Ecclesiastes 1:18. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. Right, which is why people in the world say ignorance is bliss. Because when you start gaining in wisdom, right? For instance, what's one of the things that we have understanding of? We have understanding of the majority of the people, right, outside the Archeum that we see in our day to day, they gonna die. They gonna die. That is
Reality.
Reality. And that's one of the things you got to get accustomed to. The fact that, you know, all of the wickedness that people around you are enjoying. You know, you be at work, you might have an adulterous woman basically giving you hell, right? That's grievous to the mind, right? And you will obviously send up them prayers or whatever, you know, send up them prayers to the Lord to deliver you from that situation, right? What else? You know, you might work with a damn homosexual.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You might sit next to a homosexual, and you know you're in one seat, and then he's next to you, right? And then you just gotta eat it. You gotta deal with it, right? And these are things that vexate you. But everyone else, they might just be like, oh, you know, oh, you scared, you know, but you know, I don't like it. But you in this, you're like, nah, you're supposed to be put to death.
Okay. That's right, man. Hey, so suffer patiently, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, impatience possess you your souls, man. The scriptures say it, man, explicitly, man.
Yeah.
So although we go through a lot of hell out here, although this is a wicked ass kingdom, Yahweh Shim Yahushua Ra'azah, we are literally at the door, man. So Akim gotta stay strong, cause hey, Satan's out here roaring like a lion, man, seeking whom he may devour, man. It's real out here. Ephesians 6:12, we really do fight against spiritual warfare and wickedness in high places, man. But as long as brothers endure, man, those crowns are waiting for us, man. Hey, Apostle Ricard said it best. Before you join the truth, and even if you're in the truth, continuously read that second, that Sirach, the second chapter, man. You know, and if you can read through that and think, yeah, I can deal with that, then yeah, man, you know, that you do what you gotta do. But hey, every man's gotta bear their cross, man, in order to receive their crown. You're gonna receive an individual crown, so you can't share your cross. You know what I'm saying? And that's the mentality you gotta have, man. Every man's burden is different, but at the end of the day, use your talents and use them wisely, man. And stay spiritual, man. So you know, hopefully that quick hit was edifying unto you, brothers, and so the next time we say Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barak Atham, and yeah, Shalom, Akim, Shalom.